The following is a presentation of the ECRHL Network.
Well, good evening, everybody, and welcome to the sixth episode of ECRHL Live. I'm Commissioner Ray Arnott, and joining me today is George's dog, and George. And he looks like he got excited for ECRHL Live. Hopefully he's logging in and getting ready for Rulebook Trivia night. So, how you been, George?
Pretty good. If I could get him to shag pups, it would be awesome. He just wants to run around with them and keep them away from me.
Yeah, your audio's breaking up a little bit, George. I'm not sure what happened there. We'll have to check your connection again. Make sure your mic's working.
I'm sitting at around 50 right now.
Okay, back it down just a little bit more because you were really broken up there.
All right.
Yeah, you're sounding much better now. All right, we'll get through these little technical glitch here. So, George, we should be playing hockey this time of year. Unfortunately, we're in the great pause and whatnot. What have you been doing to keep yourself occupied?
Well, let's see. After the last playoff game of the 2019 season, we took a hiatus over Christmas, and we started up in January with the kids playing deck hockey.
Yeah, so you and I had started that little program and learned to play deck hockey program, and I'd say it was pretty successful start to it at least. What do you say, George?
We had about 18 kids between the three different age groups, and I thought they were picking up on it. The feedback we got was pretty positive.
Right.
We were in week 6, I believe, when we had to put the pause on.
Yeah, unfortunately, we lost that to this COVID-19 situation and whatnot. But we're making great strides in the mentality of teaching kids how to play hockey, introducing them at a very grassroots level. And we had a really good a good activity level with it, I should say, and we were hoping to transfer that back to Josh Lacey outside, and I'm hoping that maybe 2021 will yield a better result for that.
Well, the neat thing about it was we were able to actually get the adults back in there. For those that don't know, I run the deck hockey Tuesdays and Thursday night deck hockey outside. During the wintertime, we normally like to go inside, and we hadn't been in the gym in a while. But it gives us an avenue for those of us that don't play ice, an avenue just to keep up with the skills and keep up with the cardio, chase the orange ball around inside the gym and pitch middle. But we were able to get back in there after 2 years.
Yeah. You're still having a little bit of an audio issue there, George, and I'm not sure what's causing you to break up. I'm hoping that it's not me, and if anybody listening now can verify, make sure that we both sound correct, or at least one of us. You're all crackled up for some reason. You sounded good in the pre-show, but unfortunately you're breaking up right now, George.
All right.
Still having that issue.
I'll tell you what, let us, George has static, Ray is clear. Let me throw a promo up and let me shift computers real quick.
All right, let's do that. George is going to move and we'll have you move. Go ahead, George. We'll do that. And I'll try to hold the fort down before you leave. So let me start talking a little bit about trivia before we get into it. I wanted to give everybody a chance to sign on and whatnot to the show and get ready for that. And we'll let George switch around there. So this is our first run at it, where we think we're pretty confident that we're going to have a pretty smooth trivia night for everybody. And I hope that we get everybody participating. The best bet is to get yourself on YouTube. I'm going to throw up that banner real quick. YouTube.com/ECRHL Hockey. If you're watching us on Facebook, that's great. We appreciate you joining us there. But to try to make everything fair, because there's a variance between the time that the comments come in from Facebook to YouTube, with YouTube being faster, we'd like to get everybody and put it on a level playing field. So if you're watching us on Facebook now and you want to participate in the trivia, please move yourself over to YouTube at youtube.com/ECRHL Hockey. You can log in with a Google account. I know that for sure, but nonetheless, get yourself logged in so that you can join us for ECRHL Trivia. I'm just keeping an eye out here for George. See when he comes back online. Just want to make sure his audio is clear because George will be participating with me and presenting tonight's rulebook trivia. Want to take a few moments and thank our sponsors for tonight's trivia, that Captain Scott's Lobster Dock and Adventure Mystic down Paddle Mystic down in on Holmes Street in Mystic. That's Jeff Jodwin. Want to thank them both for donating. So tonight's first prize will be a $50 gift certificate to Captain Scott's Lobster Dock. And second place will win a 2-for-1 rental at Adventure Mystic. So two great businesses that have been very supportive of the Eastern Connecticut Roller Hockey League, and we appreciate them being a part of our first rulebook trivia night. So we're just going to hang tight here a few moments for George. Hopefully you are moving yourselves over to YouTube. Again, youtube.com/ECRHL Hockey. You should see that we're live, and you should be able to join the broadcast. So move over there if you can. I'm just reaching out here real quick to George just to see how he's making out. And sorry for the delay. We'll just get George online here, and then we'll get started. I didn't want to bring him in the middle of rulebook trivia. He'll just give him another minute or two to join in. Again, thank you for everybody joining us tonight for our first ECRHL Live rulebook trivia. George and I worked during the week to put this together. We'll have there'll be a format of 20 questions. We'll do the first 10 questions. We'll have a little break in the middle. We'll check the scores, and then we'll do the final 10 questions. If we're tied at the end of 10 questions, we have one tiebreaker question. Anybody that is tied for first or within that top will be able to answer that question to break any tie that we may have, either first place or second place or possibly both. So we'll have that. So 20 questions ready to go. They're all based on the rule book that the Eastern Connecticut Hockey League, Eastern Connecticut Roller Hockey League follows. And also our rules document. You can find those both on ECRHLhockey.com, and you can also find both the rule book under forms, and our rules document has its own page under rules. And we've got George back on the stream. So
sorry, I had to shift computers there. How's my audio now? A little bit better?
That's much better, George.
All right.
Yeah. So,
the wife was gracious enough to give up her space for a little bit.
Excellent. Well, that's fantastic. So thank you to Tiffany for her help there, the technical help, and good to have you back online. So let's get started. While you were away, George, I instructed everybody to move over to YouTube and get themselves set up for trivia. So we're going to roll right into this. We'll go over the rules. Let me just get rid of banner out of the way. And there we go. Now we're looking more official for the officials who are dressed like officials. So just make, yep, Todd is saying much better. That's good. George is up and running. He's sounding good. So we're ready to go and get it right into our live rulebook trivia night. So again, I'm going to shut off all the comments from Facebook. We're just going to look at YouTube for the answers, and let's take a look at the trivia rules. So first, rule: answer only with the corresponding letter. When you see the question come up, you'll see A, B, C, or D. Answer with just the letter. One answer per user per question. Typing in A, B, C, and D off the same time will not count. So one guess, one answer per user per question. And the first correct answer in the chat gets the point, and that's judged by the order that they come in here on the utility that we're using here, StreamYard, which is being fed by YouTube. So as they come in order here on StreamYard, we'll determine who gets the point. So I'll keep an eye on that as the answers come in. And we're going to go right into, let me again reemphasize that all questions are based on the USAR's official rules of inline hockey from 2012 to 2014. That's the book that we've stayed with. And the ECRHL House Rules document, which is the addendum to the rule book. Again, those documents can all be found on ECRHLhockey.com. There's a link to the rule book, and there's a page for the rules document. So that everybody can get used to the format here and how this works, we're going to start with a practice question. Doesn't count, no points, but go ahead and answer like you normally would, and we'll take this practice question. And the practice question, if you were paying attention, the rule book the ECRHL follows is A, the NHL 2019 to 2020 rule book, B, the USAR's official rules of inline hockey from 2012 to 2014, C, USA Hockey Inline 1998 rule book, or D, the WHA rule book from 1978 to 1979.
I say we have about a handful of people that remember the WHA rule book, huh?
Yeah, that might be. They might be thinking. So is it A, B, C, or D?
Are you seeing the comments come through?
I'm waiting. They might be thinking. We don't have the licensing to play the Jeopardy theme here, but you can hear it playing in the head. We know Todd's here. Is Todd going to be able to answer this practice question? And Todd answers correctly. The answer is B. The USAR's official rules. Oops, let me click over here. The USAR's official rules of inline hockey from 2012 to 2014. All right. Can George whistle the Jeopardy theme? I don't know if George can, but they're saying big time delay. So we'll have to.
There's a delay on when the question, after the question is done, there should be about a 5-second delay.
Okay. Well, we'll figuring that everybody's on that same delay. Hopefully we can make that work. So, all right, we're going to go right to the first question here, and hopefully we can get beyond the delay there. First question. Hayes Services is playing against AEN Asphalt. Play is stopped and a minor penalty for tripping is called against Hayes Services' Sean Prevost. Where should the ensuing faceoff be held? Is it A, the center faceoff spot, B, Hayes Services attacking end zone, C, AEN Asphalt's attacking end zone, or D, inside the referee's crease? We'll wait for the delay.
I guess we don't have to worry about somebody answering too early.
Yeah, I guess so, because we're and the answer that Todd Paquette answered is correct. C, AEN Asphalt's attacking end zone. That's a point for Todd Paquette.
We got Todd with the 1 point.
Todd's got 1 point. All right. Good job, Todd. So we'll talk about that real quick. Why is that face-off held there, George?
Well, the offending team loses the zone, so they have to defend in there. So the non-penalized team will be allowed into the zone for the face-off.
Into their attacking zone. That is absolutely correct. Gives them an early advantage on a power play. Question 2. Regular season ECRHL Sunday Ball League games consist of A, two 20-minute running time periods, 3 15-minute running time periods, C, 4 10-minute stop time periods, or D, 3 20-minute stop time periods. And the answer, B, Amy. Let's see. I don't know. I'm going to have to. I'm going to say, I'm sorry. I thought it was Amy. I have Todd before Amy with B. You both were correct, but Todd is in there first. B is correct. 3 15-minute running time periods is the correct answer.
Oh, Todd's got the early lead.
Todd has the early lead, 2-0. Amy, you were just behind him, and but Todd was in there first. So we'll go to our next question. Question 3. Pink Floyd, hello. Is there anybody out there? I hope so. It is showing more people playing, so hopefully we'll have some more people ringing in. But Todd, you're out to the early 2-0 lead here. Question number 3. When a regular season game cannot be played due to its scheduled conclusion, due to darkness, weather, or any other unplayable condition, which of the following constitutes a completed game? Is it A, a score differential of 10 or more goals, B, the home team is in the lead, C, 2 periods completed or a goal differential of 7, or D, 1 period completed and the score isn't tied? Yeah, we have to come up with a theme for some kind of answer music for next time.
Well, I have it somewhere on my phone. I was looking for it, but we don't want to get in too much trouble.
Todd with the quick fingers gets the answer correct. It is C, 2 periods completed or a goal differential of 7.
Well, I think in all the years we've been doing this, whether from the inception of hockey back in Groton or ECRHL, I think it's only come into play once.
I believe so. Yep. Yeah, that was a fairly, I would say, within the relative term, a fairly new rule that was created to make sure that we avoided a situation and make sure that we knew what a completed game looked like.
Well,
so
part of it is, and most of the time we're affected not so much by the darkness, but it's the weather. And we know, I mean, player safety is number one is on our mind. And as soon as that rink gets wet, that's when you start having issues. When people can't skate, they can't stop, they can't turn, and that's time to call it. And that's what happened last time.
Absolutely. So hopefully we got some new people joining us here for ECRHL Live Rulebook Trivia. If you missed the rules in the beginning, just make sure that you're on YouTube and you're able to answer the question. You look at the question, you answer either A, B, C, or D. On the question, the first one to ring in via a comment with the correct answer gets the point. So we have Todd out to a very early lead, but got some new people signing in. Hopefully we're going to give Todd a little bit of a run here. So here we go with question number 4. An automatic blank shall be applied to any player who's been assessed a second major penalty in the same game. Is it A, a match penalty, B, a double minor, C, stern talking to, or D, game misconduct? Let's see if somebody can put an answer up here on Todd. Wait for that long delay, George. You got to get you singing. And Amy strikes with her first point. Let me get over here so we can take a look at that answer. D, it is a game misconduct. Good job, Amy. You are on the board. And George, he's writing down the score here, and I'll give him it is a game misconduct. Elbow cough. Yeah, so it is a game misconduct. Well, luckily, I don't think we've ever had to issue that automatic game misconduct, and it'd be kind of nice to keep it that way.
Yes, no, that one does not one of the ones that is a normal call out there.
That is right, and that's a good thing. All right, here we go. We're into question number 5. The neutral zone is blank long by 85 feet wide. Is it A, 100 feet, B, 12 inches, C, 90 feet, or D, 20 yards? We'll wait that delay. There you go.
You can only do that for so long. The dogs are going to start howling for me.
All right. Let's see. We've got 2 answers. Neither answer is correct. So let's see. We've got other people watching. Let's see if we can get somebody to chime in here. Hopefully you're over on those that are on YouTube.
Yes, comments from Facebook are not coming over.
Yep. So
please comment on YouTube.
Yep. Get over to YouTube and answer this question because Todd and Amy are both out. All right, we're gonna give it a countdown here. We're gonna give it 10 more seconds here. Maybe with the delay that might be a little tricky, but we'll call it 10, and then I'll wait 5 seconds. So 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. And we have people watching. We just got to get them participating here. Hopefully we can get some people in here and answering some of these questions.
Here we go.
Don't play it because we'll get kicked off of YouTube, George. We don't have a license for it. Yeah, let's be careful there. But let's move on here. And Amy, yeah, your second guess was right, but you don't get the point for it. It's 12 inches. Go ahead and explain that one, George.
Well, in roller hockey in the USARs, there's only 2 zones. You have an attacking zone and a defending zone. That line going across the center of the rink, it's actually about 12 and a quarter inches wide. We had to widen it up just a little bit the last time we repainted it. But that is the only neutral zone. That comes into play when people are between the red line and the blue line and they hand pass in their own zone. They think it's a penalty because we do have the blue lines out there. And you're still if you're in the defending zone, you're still good. It's one of the things that the seasoned players, the guys that have been out there for a while, they know, and they'll just run with it. And normally the new guys are like, hey, wait a second, that's a hand pass. Nope, the zone is from the red line down to the goal line.
That's right. So, yeah, no, not necessarily a trick question, Todd. Just a tricky one. So, yeah, it's a 12-inch neutral zone. Let's get back. Let's get to question number 6. Hopefully, we'll get a good answer here. All right. So, well shorthanded and while attempting to clear the zone, Carl's cronies Chris Simpkins shoots the ball directly at a play over the glass and behind the player's bench. What is the correct call? Is it A, Chris must get the ball and apologize? B, the penalty clock stops until the next face-off? C, a minor penalty for delay a game is issued? Or D, the game clock is stopped and the penalty is reset? Let's see if we can get hopefully somebody other than, it's good to Todd and Amy. Let's see some more questions here. Todd, that is incorrect. Amy gets the point on this one.
Amy.
It is B. The penalty clock stops until the next face-off. And George, you want to give the referee explanation on this one.
The bottom line is, since we don't have a delay of game penalty that can be called on a player, and primarily because our glass is so short, even though it's even all the way around, it's short. We do stop the clock, so that way you cannot eat up the penalty clock by clearing it out of the zone.
Yeah, it's to prevent the delay of retrieving the ball, going back, redoing the face-off. So yeah, that is the call. It's not a penalty. It's just a stoppage of play. The stoppage of the penalty clock until the next face-off. It just preserves that amount of time on the penalty. So, all right. So Amy with a point on that one. And we'll go to question 7. Junkyard Dogs, Chris Giacomazzo skates into his attacking zone and delivers the classic 12-6 slap shot that hits the crossbar and goes directly out of play. Where should the ensuing face-off take place? Is it A, the center face-off spot, B, inside the Junkyard Dogs attacking end zone, C, Junkyard Dogs defending end zone, or D, the spot where Chris took the shot? Let's see. We'll wait that delay out. Maybe they're looking at this, trying to think this one out. Let's see.
We got Amy and Todd both with C.
That the face-off would stay inside the zone. That is not correct. Some people have been looking at the NHL rule book. Let's see. Come on, there's got to be some other people out here ready to answer this question and steal a point away. And get yourself into this. I know that $50 gift certificate to Captain Scott's would be enough for me to jump in here and want to answer. Amy, I'll take you paddleboarding, take me to Lobster. Well, we got 20 questions, and hopefully we get some people in here and participating here. So
give it a 10-second countdown.
Yeah, here we go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
And the answer is the center face-off spot.
That is correct. Go ahead and explain that one, George, and why maybe Amy and Todd thought that it was going to stay in the zone.
Oh, one of the recent changes to the NHL rulebook was if a shot in the offensive zone off the pipe, crossbar, what have you, goes out of play, it stays inside the zone. For ECRHL and the roller hockey, you lose the zone. It goes back to neutral ice, neutral face-off. That 12 inches right in the middle, center face-off spot.
That's right. So we haven't moved to that NHL rule. That NHL rule was put in to increase scoring. Roller hockey is naturally built for scoring. So if it goes off the crossbar and out of play, yep, that's right, Todd. See the test question and go to that book. Question 8. Navy silent snipers and berserkers are tied, and with 1:35 remaining in the third period, Eric Hill's shot is caught and held by goalie Travis Stedman. What should scorekeeper Stephanie Tomasetti do? Should she A, stop the game clock, B, reset the game clock to 2 minutes, C, allow the game clock to run until 30 seconds remaining, or D, run 5 seconds off the game clock? So at that stoppage, what should she do with the controller? Todd is saying A, stop the game clock. That is incorrect. Amy also answered A, which is incorrect. There are other people watching. I hope they chime in and throw up a answer here.
How many viewers do we have?
8 right now.
Awesome.
So
come on, guys. You gotta get a couple more in there.
I'll give them a few more seconds here to step up, take a look at the question.
Plus, Eric doesn't shoot. Oh, we have a Justin in there with
Yep, with D. D is not correct. A is not correct, Charles, but glad you guys are joining us, and there's plenty of time to get yourself back into this game here. I'm glad you're joining us here on. You guys are answering from Facebook, however. It's funny that it still shows up in there, so that's fine. Go ahead and answer. We'll take it. Just you may not be in the quickest in.
All right, you want to do a 10-second runoff?
Yep, we'll do that. 9, 8.
Charles, you only get one
6.
one guess.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. What's the answer, George? Oh, right at the very end. I'm going to give it to Goldilocks Productions because I think they got it right at the end, and with the delay, they get the point. So Goldilocks Productions, great job. I got a clicking problem here. So the answer is C. Allow the game clock to run until 30 seconds remaining. So not sure who Goldilocks Productions is, but you get the point. So go ahead and you want to, I ask you to explain it. If I didn't, go ahead and explain it, George.
Well, it's the rules of 2. Inside 2 minutes, inside 2 goals, 1 or 2 goals, the clock stops. When the game is tied, the clock keeps running to the last 30 seconds of the period.
Yeah, that's to allow for time for overtime. So if we had a stop clock that was going even with a tied game, we would have a very extended time, and then add overtime, we'd go very long. So that's the rule that was created. And Charles, no problem. Glad you're jumping in and joining us here, and you'll be ready for the next question. So no problem there. But Goldilocks Productions, great job, and we'll look forward to see what you have for the next question here. Question 9. Dean Patty has received his 3rd minor penalty of the game. Which of the following additional penalties will be issued? Is it A, game misconduct and a 1-game suspension, B, a match penalty, C, a double minor, or D, a game ejection? So again, Dean Patty has received his 3rd minor penalty of the game. Which of the following additional penalties will be issued? A game misconduct and a 1-game suspension. And Todd, getting in there quick with a D, he would receive a game ejection. George, what's the difference between a game ejection and a game misconduct penalty?
The game ejection is normally reserved for when you get 3 penalties, and it doesn't make a difference what kind of penalties, but 3 penalties in a game, you're ejected from the game, whether it's the first period or third period. A game misconduct and the 1-game suspension that usually ensues with that is something a little bit more, we'll call it violent. We know hockey's a violent sport, but fighting is pretty much the main cause of that. Sometimes, depending on the severity of it, it will carry a game misconduct and more game suspension to expulsion from the league.
All right, so yeah, and the bigger difference, the old is exactly that, the suspension. The game ejection does not carry a automatic suspension with it. So we got Justin Marieski joining in as well. So good to see Justin, and we'll hopefully you guys catch the next question here. So this is the first one the last question before we take a little break here. So question number 10. While clearing the ball out of the zone on a penalty kill, Chris Turner breaks the blade on his stick. Play has moved away from him, and the referee hasn't given him any specific instructions. What are his choices? Is it A, to continue to play with the broken stick, B, drop the broken stick, C, skate the stick directly back to his bench, or D, both B and C? let's see. We got a couple additional players here. It's a good chance to get yourself caught up to Todd. Is it A, B, C, or D? No, it was Todd who got in just before Amy.
Oh, Todd showing first.
Todd pulls the point there. It is correct. Amy, you were correct. And it is both B and C. Special rule to the ECRHL. Go ahead, George, and talk a little bit about the theory behind that one.
Well, we know that from playing ice hockey and watching the NHL that if a stick breaks, they're supposed to drop it and then go and retrieve a new stick. When you do that in roller hockey, you just create a trip hazard while you're out there. As long as the player who breaks his stick, in this case, Chris Turner, makes no effort to play the ball and holds the stick in his hand and skates directly to his bench for a new twig or for a line change, he's fine. And normally we'll watch and pick up any pieces as he goes along, the blade and what have you, if it's feasible. But it's to keep the trip hazards from being out there on the rink.
Yeah, exactly that. And, if the player has the ability to get back to their bench with the stick and do it in a safe manner and in the judgment of the referee, we allow that. So a little unique to our league. And actually, there's a couple other leagues as well that are doing the same. So that is the correct answer. So I'll let George tally up the score here, and we'll get back to trivia here in a second. There is something I did want to mention to everybody here about from our sponsor, Captain Scott's Lobster Dock. Captain Scott's Lobster Dock and the Emily Eschenfelder Foundation are extending an invitation to area seniors to compete for the chance to leave your mark during the COVID-19 crisis. If you are a senior at Waterford, New London, East Lyme, or St. Bernard's and would like to pay it forward or create something for your class or school to remember you by, they want to help. Submit what you would like to do for your class, school, or community, and if you are the winner, we will give you a budget of $2,000 to do so. Your idea must be ready to be independently implemented by the end of June. The winner that they choose will win a scholarship or a cash prize of $500. Again, if anybody that remembers, Emily Eschenfelder was a very important part of the Eastern Connecticut Roller Hockey League and a dear friend to many who played in the league, a fierce competitor. We miss Emily every day, and every time we're down at the rink, her presence is definitely felt. And this is a great opportunity for anybody or a senior within the 4 high schools mentioned. Please help us spread the word. I'd like everybody to take a moment while we're taking a break. Make sure you go to facebook.com/Emily Eschenfelder Foundation. Make sure you give them a like, and do me a favor, find this image that has this information and share it on your Facebook page. Let's help them get the word out for this very noble cause that they're putting up here. And that's one of the causes that we fundraise for every year. And they're definitely putting it to good use amongst all the other fundraising efforts that they put together. So please help support the Emily Eschenfelder Foundation. I also want to, while we're talking about this, thank Captain Scott's Lobster Dock for their support of the first ECRHL Rules Trivia Night. Captain Scott's Lobster Dock, located down on 80 Hamilton Street. I had the address in front of me, but slid by it. 80 Hamilton Street in New London. They're doing takeout now from, I believe it's 11 to 7 on Tuesday through Sunday. So they're doing takeout service down there. You go down with your car. You can also order online. You can go to their website. It's captscottsnl.com. You can check out their website there, and you can place your order online, or you can give them a call at 860-439-1741. Also want to thank Jeff at Adventure Mystic LLC and Paddle Mystic. Jeff has been selling new and used paddle boards. He does paddleboard rentals, kayak rentals, bike rentals, anything pretty much rentals that would allow you to get out into the outdoors and social distance yourself in a healthy way. Definitely get a hold of Jeff. You can check out his website at adventuremystic.com or give him a call at 860-245-6086. Thank you to both our sponsors tonight for the prizes. And I'm going to click back over here. And if everybody's ready, we're going to get back to some trivia. What do you got for some scores? Let's do the let's update this.
I was going to say, let's do the update first. All right.
Yeah, sure.
We have Todd in the lead with 5 questions. We have Amy right behind him with 2. Goldilocks with 1.
All right.
We had 2 missed questions.
Okay. So we got 10 more questions, plenty of room for everybody that just joined us to get yourself caught up. So we're going to roll right into it. Here we go. If I can change the screen, here we go. Question 11. Which of the following is a legal uniform number? Is it A, 101, B, 9.3, C, 63, or D, 33 1/3? Which of these 4 are a legal uniform number? And we'll have to investigate that Todd's cheating claim by Cheryl, but I think he's just lack of competition early. I think he's in trouble in the second half, but we'll have to see.
I got Amy in there with C.
Yep. Amy got in there with the answer of C. Todd is bragging about his internet connection, and that is correct. The answer 63. Go ahead, George. You want to give a quick explanation of this one?
It's a whole number.
Right.
Generally speaking, that's what we stick with. There have been cases where certain teams do have similar numbers or same numbers on 2 different jerseys. For ECRHL, we'll usually allow 63A if there's 2 63 jerseys. And that's just for the record keeping.
That's right.
Make sure that the stats, because everybody needs their points, their apples, or their goals. Whatever they want. Then we always got to make sure that we get the right number in there.
That's right. All right. So good job, Amy, getting that one. So we'll go to question 12. Which piece of rink equipment is used to measure the legal height of a stick for the purpose of validating a goal? Is it A, the glass shielding, B, the goal frame crossbar, C, the kick plate, or D, the walk behind water pusher? Let's see if Todd's 100 gigabit up down connection's going to serve him well on this one. Cheryl gets the answer correct on that one. That is B, the goal frame crossbar. That is correct. Go ahead, George.
That's pretty much a standard rule, whether you're in ECRHL, NHL, AHL, the crossbar for a goal.
Yeah. So good job there, Cheryl. I saw you're in first. It just put Amy ahead, but I did see Cheryl's answer in there first.
She's coming in from Facebook too. I wonder if that's the delay.
Right. So, well, we'll for competition's sake, we're gonna do that. Amy, yes, you did. It did show you after Cheryl, so we're gonna take Cheryl's answer there. Question 13. Electric Boat Athletic Club arrives to their regular season game with 3 forwards and a goalie. How many non-roster substitute players are they permitted? Is it A, 6, B, 5, C, 1, or D, 3? Again, Electric Boat Athletic Club arrives to the regular season game with 3 forwards and a goalie. How many non-roster substitute players are they permitted? Carrie Blomberg, good to see you. I think you're on the board there, and you are.
Is it Carrie with the correct answer?
That is Carrie with the correct answer. Carrie's going to pull a late game comeback here. Goldilocks with F. Well, yeah, that's not it. Good to see you, Carrie, getting in here late, but hey, there's still enough questions here. You can pull the comeback. Todd's got a little bit of a lead, but it's not unbeatable, I believe, at this point. Question 14.
Hold on. I still want to find out about that F answer.
I think she said oops afterwards. So All right. During play, Tom Bongo loses a wheel off his left skate. According to the rules, A, must leave the surface immediately. B, can finish his shift but must replace the wheel before returning. C, can leave the wheel out for the remainder of the game. Or D, is issued a minor penalty for illegal equipment. And we're going to go with Amy getting in there with A. That is correct. He must leave the surface immediately. And Carrie, one answer per person. I know you got in late, but we're going to take your first answer on that. So that is correct for Amy, which is A, must leave the surface immediately.
Carrie's out there with Bongo can do anything he wants. Just remember, no goals for Bongo. Tom, if you're listening to this later on, no goals for you.
That's right. Question 15. In the ECRHL, elbow pads are A, optional but highly recommended. B, must be worn underneath the jersey. C, are required to protect you and the opponent. Or D, both B and C. Again, in the ECRHL, elbow pads are either A, are optional but highly recommended. B, must be worn underneath the jersey. C, are required to protect you and the opponent. Or D, both B and C. And the answer is D. Todd Paquette getting in there quick with the point. So go ahead, George.
Well, they must be worn underneath the jersey and are required to protect you and the opponent. You know, accidents happen. How many times do you go in the corner after the ball? Either your skates come out from under you, you slip, you run into somebody. It protects both of you. That's
right. So, yeah, that's the big thing is that, you know, we've had injuries where people not wearing their elbow pads, and it's been on both sides. It's been the player that had the elbow exposed, and it's also been the player that received that exposed elbow. And, yeah, the elbow pads are a required piece of equipment in the ECRHL.
Amy, you don't remember those pads because they were under the jersey. You didn't see them.
That's right. So question number 16. The maximum players allowed on a team's game roster is A, 12, B, 18, C, 13, or D, trick question, there is no limit. What are the rules for heckling the ref off the rink? We'll cover them afterwards. Let's see. I don't think we have a correct answer yet. Amy wants to go with that limitless game roster.
Carrie does too.
Todd's thinking it's let's see. A, Amy, and Todd. You're forgetting somebody very important on your team. Carrie's got D. Cheryl's got D. We got anybody else out there to throw in a guess on this one? Count it off the 10 here. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and I'm calling it. Who did Amy and Todd forget, George?
I think they forgot the goalie.
That's right. Maximum players. Players does include your goalie. You're allowed 12 skaters and a goalie for a total of 13 maximum players. So, tricked you all. Yeah, you forgot Kyle. Poor Kyle, Todd. Bails you out all game long, and you forget him on a question. So, no point on that. All right, question 17. Jeff Jodwin is in on a breakaway against Nico Zerillo. Fearing Jeff's trademark deke, Nico turns around and pushes the goal off the moorings. What is the call? Is it A, Jeff is awarded an automatic goal? B, Nico is issued a minor penalty for delay of game? C, a penalty shot is awarded and anyone on Jeff's team can take it? Or D, a penalty shot is awarded and Jeff must take it? So again, Jeff on a breakaway. Nico turns around, pushes the goal off the frame or off the pegs. And what is the call? Goldilocks Productions gets that one correct. The first answer. A penalty shot is awarded and Jeff must take it. He was the last player in possession of the puck, or the ball in this case, and he must take the penalty shot.
There is only one rule where somebody else can take the penalty shot, and that's only if the player that was in on that the penalty shot was awarded for gets injured.
That's right. Question 18. Let's see if we can get some of those other people are chiming in earlier. Hopefully they come back and answer some of these questions here. Hooking the opponent's stick is A, illegal, B, permitted below the hands of the opponent, C, only allowed in the opponent's offensive zone, or D, permitted on any part of the stick provided it doesn't contact their body. What are the rules for hooking the stick? I got to scroll down here because it's saying new comments and it didn't scroll up. And Carrie gets the point on that one. Let's see. I think she said allowed, but I'm not sure what that was. So I'm looking at answers, and Amy did get a permitted below the hands of the opponent. What is that called, George?
Hold on. That is basically it's a stick check.
Yep, that is right.
All right. I'm looking, making sure we're not delayed. So who's got this one?
That was Carrie.
Carrie, okay.
Yep. Yep.
I stopped scrolling.
Yep. So it's called a hook check, and it's allowed below the hands of the opponent. It's unique to roller hockey, and I believe even unique to the USAR's book. And hook checking is allowed in the ECRHL. It is called illegal below the hands of the opponent. Once it gets up in the hands, what's the call, George?
The call in the hands is hooking.
That's correct.
Oh, God. The rest.
Question 19. We got two more left here. I'm not sure what the score is, but we're just going to run it right here to the end. Question 19. A team's season roster is comprised of a maximum of blank players. Is it 18, 20, 22, or 13? A team's season roster is comprised of a maximum of blank players. A, 18, B, 20, C, 22, or D, 13. And Carrie's going with the internet connection problems. Amy answered D, 13. That is incorrect.
I got a Todd with an A.
Yep, I got tied with A. I'm trying to click George, but it's not working. There it goes. A, 18. You're allowed to have a maximum of 18 players on your season roster. That includes substitute players and goaltenders on your roster. 18 is the right answer. Buffering. Here is the 20th and final question. Let's see who can have at least the bragging rights of having answered the last question correctly. The maximum allowed width of a goalkeeper's leg pad is blank inches. Is it A, 11, B, 13, C, 12, or D, 10? The maximum allowed width of a goalkeeper's leg pad is blank inches. A, 11, B, 13, C, 12, or D, 10. See whose internet connection buffers first. Todd's got that 100 gigs.
Hey,
C, Amy gets the correct answer there. She answered. I like Carrie's answer. She thinks our leg pad should be 13. I'd like the 14 or 15, but Amy got that one correct. The answer is 12. And I'll be the goalie and answer that one. The NHL went to an 11-inch leg pad quite a few years ago, and in most the width of a case of Marlboros. Oh boy. So the NHL went to an 11-inch leg pad. However, we still allow the older 12-inch leg pad per our rule book. But the NHL and most production goal pads nowadays are at 11 inches. So, George, let's total that up and let's see what you got there.
All right. So we have Todd with 7. We have Amy with 5. We have Carrie with 2, Goldilocks with 2, and Cheryl with 1.
Awesome. So congratulations, Todd. You're the winner of the $50 gift certificate to Captain Scott's Lobster Dock. And you said Amy in second place. She wins the 2-for-1 rental at Adventure Mystic. We'll be getting in touch with both of them. We'll give them your names and make sure that you're able to stop by and pick those up. We'll play that one more bonus question. I did have one that was set for overtime. We'll throw that up for everybody, and just for bragging rights, we'll play the overtime question and see who can get this one right. If I can get it to play. The playing surface dimensions of the Groton Hockey Rink are A, 182 by 85, B, 190 by 90, C, 200 by 100, or D, 200 by 85. So is the Groton Hockey Rink 182 feet by 85 feet, 190 by 90 feet, 200 by 100 feet, or 200 by 85?
Cheryl with B, Todd with D.
Yeah, and Todd, he's just gonna roll through this whole thing. He would have won the overtime question. Groton Hockey Rink is the NHL regulation of 200 by 85. Those other dimensions, 182 by 85 was Z Rink. I don't know whose would be 190 by 90. 200 by 100 is an Olympic rink. And that 200 by 85 is the NHL and also the Groton Hockey Rink. Probably one of the biggest of the roller hockey surfaces that you could play on. But that's the Groton Hockey Rink came from Connecticut College, and we put it back up in the exact format it came out of the ice rink. So 200 by 85.
When the guys come down for the Steve Lambert tournament for Mass, they're used to playing on a little bit smaller rink, and they love our rink when they come down because it gives them 4-on-4. It gives them more space to wheel.
Yeah. Carrie, does anybody? We got to go. We'll chop over here for a second. Let me wrap up Rulebook Trivia Night by thanking everybody who participated. Congratulations to Todd and Amy who walked away with the prizes tonight. Had a good time with this, and hopefully we'll come back with maybe a different format of trivia, and we'll get some more people involved. Definitely help spread the word about this. We're having a lot of fun doing these ECRHL shows. We'll move over. We'll get back to our normal studio here. There we go. We're almost there. There we go. We've arrived. We'll get over to the comments. So Carrie Blomberg, anyone remember how to skate? I sure hope so. We'll hopefully be back out there soon. It seems like things are starting to come around at least. I'm not saying that it's going to be a green light quickly, but definitely good to see some progress being made. So hopefully we are allowed to go back out there soon. Yeah, Todd, thanks to Ray, George, Amy, Carrie, and Goldilocks and Beers on Navy for the first game. We'll definitely be looking forward to those beers down at the Groton Hockey Rink and being able to get back out there and skate. And then Amy putting a whole bunch of elbow coughs out there, and Goldilocks, the great show. Thanks. It was great having you here and participating with us. And glad you had a good time, Amy. This show was it's been quite a bit of fun for us to put together. This is our 6th show and the first time we've tried to do the trivia online, and for our first run, I thought we did pretty good here, George.
No, it was a great show. I'm going to do a shameless plug for deck hockey. With talking about, things starting to lift, and you're seeing places outside of Connecticut starting to get back into their rinks. They're starting to make ice in certain parts of the country. As we get back in, for those that want to get in shape a little bit quicker, to keep Tuesdays and Thursday nights open for deck hockey out in the rink. We play 4-on-4 going across. It's a good time. You'll definitely get your legs back.
Yeah, that's for sure. It's a good time. Really good group of guys that play in that deck hockey group. Hoping to be able to come on here very soon and give some updates as to exactly what's going on. I know a lot of people have asked me via private message or even on Facebook itself, and throw some comments. And I'll be quite honest, I know about as much about it as you guys do. I've talked to Parks and Rec, and everything's a big question right now, and when things are going to be able to be lightened up or be able to get back to the rink, or even say that the rink is open, is all just subject to the day-by-day information that we're provided. So they know as much as I do, and you guys know as much as I do. So we'll continue to try to share out as much as I can. And as the moment that they say it's okay to go down and skate on the rink, I will definitely get with you guys and let you know what's going on. So I'm just as excited as anybody else for being able to get, our Sundays back and try to put something together, and whether a season or some tournaments or whatever it's going to be by the time we get to answer. So Amy, deck is so much fun to watch. It's even more fun to participate. So again, anybody that's got a stick and a pair of sneakers can really get in and just try deck hockey out. It's a good time. So as far as this show goes, we'll wrap it up here. George, I want to thank you for joining us tonight, and hopefully you're staying sharp on your rule book, because when we get going again, we're going to hopefully get right back into some good action in the Sunday Ball League. Hoping to maybe put a shortened season together, or maybe something. We'll have some kind of hockey. We're definitely not going to, when we're told we're able to play hockey, we'll put something together and we'll be back out on that rink. So I know George will be out there not only skating, but also wearing the stripes for us as well. So thanks again, George, for all your help in putting together tonight's rulebook trivia. And
I look forward to skating, and I had a blast. This was great.
Awesome. All right. So to everybody, we'll see you next week, 7:00. We'll have some more information on next week's show in the next couple days. Until then, have a safe week, and we'll see you soon. Goodbye.
Take care, guys.